And we start the show with such beautiful music from DJ Cham. And also, I was down yesterday with flu.
I see now today you're much better. You
much
could even
better,
afford
ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't speak much well. I couldn't read much well yesterday and the day before. So the flu is, I'm battling some serious flu. But anyway, it is what it is. We are here.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to do the show the way you want it. First of all, shout out to all our listeners wherever you are. Mm-hmm. You are the backbone of this show. Of course, it's a Spice Drive. We wish you a wonderful Thursday afternoon when we play for you only beautiful music and incredible conversations. And talking about down.
Yeah, Manchester United.
We were down yesterday.
Man down.
One man down. Newcastle beat us. But also...
basically, I would just say that a quick one. I'll say that... Manu is back to its
default settings. No, that goal by Osula was a masterpiece.
It was a masterpiece.
So it was individual brilliance. Mm-hmm. And I would say that Osula in 2014, Osula was in Manu Academy and won the best player of the tournament in 2014. 2026, when he was 10 years. 2026, he called some unbelievable shots.
That's the last minute,
goodness.
Just before
unbelievable.
Oh, I'm sure that one just silenced all the Manchester United fans.
I sat down and applauded that goal.
That was a nice goal.
Oh my goodness.
And the cross coming all the way from behind.
Yeah, because he ran over, got it from the line, curled it in. Mm-hmm. Beautiful score. So it's about football. It's about the passion. It's about how the goal is scored is what matters most. Oh yeah. And also away from football matches, we'll come back them towards the end of the show. Yes. Someone who is down, big down, is Professor Hamo and Jemutai. Professor Hamo and Jemutai are actually back at it again on social media. And of course, he had his own remarks that he shared on social media. But Jemutai has said that she has never really attacked him online or posted anything against their relationship and even the kids that they share together. But this time round, she said that alikuwa amechokozwa vibaya, and she had to make a response. And of course, she came in hard. But I think she's right. What do you mean she's right? She could be probably right. Because according to her, Hamo said that what actually messed her up in his business is because he once cheated. Cheated with who? Cheated with another lady, right? But Jemutai came in and said to her defense, said that it was not a reason of cheating. It's because Professor Hamo is probably still stuck with that the fame that he had earned from the television comedy show. And he said that now you cannot claim that your business is not doing well, that because you had cheated. He said is how much you put effort. How much effort you put in what you do. You understand? He said, you're a funny guy, you can sing, but how many times have we seen you creating skits? How many times have you organized a comedy show and you're a good, funny comedian? How many times, because you're also a singing guy, you are musical, how many times have you arranged a concert, even if you're going to double it up with a comic show? And people are going to come and you fill up because of the content that you have. That was a clean and straight up shot. I think it's a good shot, but my only problem is that women will always come to you when you're down. Yeah, no, they'll attack you when you're down. When you're up, you hardly get any attack. Kwa sababu, kuna msemo wa Kiswahili ambao unasema mtu hapendwi ila pochi. Pochi la biashara. Kwa hivyo kama hauna pochi, utaatakiwa. But yesterday also we saw the funeral service. The funeral requiem mass for the late Johanna Ngeno Ngong in Langata. And the question I was asking is that Johanna Ngeno Ngong, 53 years old, and his wife is just 28. A 25 years age difference. Bottom line is, this is only one, it works when you're rich, or it can work if you don't have money. That age gap. Hapa nimekuambia hapapendwe mtu ila pochi.
The age gap.
Hapupendwe mtu ila pochi.
So, but the women around 35 who should have been dating this gentleman would have said, oh, he went for 21-year-old.
Yes.
Because they've lived almost 8 years together.
Yeah.
So it means that Johanna Ngeno, when he was 45,
he dated her when he was
at 21.
At 21 years old. She's an adult.
Huh?
An adult coming from a very rich political family.
It doesn't matter the age gap?
No. You see, if the political family where she's from wanted to defend her, they would have defended her with all their might and all their wealth.
Yeah.
The father is a governor, for crying out loud. Isn't that true? And he joined politics or joined parliament probably in 2013, 2012.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
And that is just about the same time when the late Johanna was joining politics when he was about to vie.
So when this guy was joining politics,
yes,
this woman was under 18.
That is not when he was campaigning.
Yeah, he
was campaigning politically and socially.
Oh, yeah. So our listeners should tell us which is the best age gap then.
Yeah.
If you're at 45.
Yeah.
So this guy is 53. And they were hoping to grow old together.
Yes, said the husband of my youth. That's what she termed him to be.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
Husband of?
My youth.
Oh, yeah.
But the question I'm begging to ask.
What old
is the best age gap between a couple?
Yeah.
And what makes it more comfortable?
Yes.
If you're living with a guy who is older than you, 5 times older, 2 times older than you, or someone who is 5 years older than you.
And remember, you should also be very wary about these ladies who marry younger men.
Yes.
Because sometimes it takes a lot of manipulation. And just the other day we were talking about Simi and Adenkule Gold.
Adenkule.
And Simi is older than Adenkule Gold.
Hey.
2 years difference. But if you look at the remarks and the tweets that she was making, that is what she was writing down. What about what was coming from her mouth in their relationship?
So, ladies, we are discussing the age gap between a couple, but we are also discussing some fundamental issues on what is the best age gap a couple should have, and does it work if you reverse it? And Solo is saying, no, it doesn't work. Adenkule Gold was only 2 years old and the wife was younger than the wife, and you can see how it ended.
Ended like very nasty. And it just ended just after they had exchanged their nuptials.
It ended in drama.
It ended in drama. It's probably a month or 2 into their legal marriage.
So, ladies and gentlemen, tell us where you're listening us from so that we can continue with this conversation. Of course, today is being a Thursday and being one of the most iconic days. Of course, we want you to tell us only a few days to what? International Women's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And yesterday we had 2 beautiful ladies in the studio who talked about rallying and all that. So we give a lot of courage and tribute to women because this is their month. So, ladies and gentlemen, we take a short break, and when we come back, we come with more vibes. So now it's time for DJ Champ to unleash one of the iconic playlists of all time. Keep listening. DJ Champ played an iconic song from Changing Faces and Jiga Fenjing. All I want is all I need. All my days. All my days.
R&B meets hip-hop.
Fantastic song.
Fantastic.
And you know what I was thinking about, all I want, all I need, is this issue of Sifuna, Linda Mwananchi.
Yes.
Now, reports are that somebody called Wanyonyi from Bungoma has gone to Registrar of Political Parties to register that outfit as a political party.
Yes.
And the Sifuna, Orengo, and Babu Owino are saying, no.
They have said they have no affiliation with that person.
Yes. And, now they're saying that the registration should be stopped. You know what that thing reminds me? of what happened during the registration of ODM in 2005. Because
yes,
remember that ODM was registered, ODM Kenya was registered by my good friend Ruben Dolo.
By Ruben Dolo.
And the person they put as Secretary General is this guy from an MP from, is a lawyer from this side of Ukambani. They used to share, they used to be in adjacent offices.
As members of parliament.
Not yet. But they were just active. In 2005, they had not been elected.
Okay, yes.
So that's when, after the backdrop of Banana and Chungwa.
Orange, yes.
Remember, that's a referendum.
Yes.
And then Chungwa became a serious symbol after winning the referendum on constitutional reform.
With massive following.
So now, my friend Ruben Dolo then decided, let's register this as a ODM Kenya as a political party.
The Orange Democratic Party. Yes.
And then the lawyer, who is from Mukambani, decided to give that party to Kalonzo Musyoka.
Yes.
So it's going in 2007, almost 2007. Raila Odinga did not have a political party.
That's true.
To vie for presidency.
Yes.
Because this other party, ODM Kenya, is now under control of Kalonzo Musyoka.
Yeah.
Now, they're being told, either you come and support me, or you ship out. Now, by that time, Paul Mwaite, who used to be an MP of Kikuyu, Kabete, had a very young lawyer in his office called Mugambi Imanyara.
Yes.
So Mugambi Imanyara had registered Orange Democratic Movement without Kenya.
Yes.
So one day, Paul Kifugi Mwite calls Ndolo and tells him, now if you don't have parties, you talk to this gentleman in my office.
Yeah.
You convince him, I will talk to him to give you this party. Then they realized, actually there's a guy who has no affiliation with ODM.
Yes.
Who has registered the party with officials as a chairman. There was a girl who was a deputy secretary general.
Yes.
And my the other good friend of mine, Fred Gumo, had convened a meeting in Raila's house immediately. And they said they have to talk to this guy to get the party. Now, they had a long time, a negotiation. And again, Mugambi Manyara demanded for a certain amount of money
to release the party.
To continue as a member of executive council, and the girl who was the secretary general to be employed in the presidential office. or whatever Raila will get after the election.
Yes.
So he was paid some millions. And the girl was, when 2007 happened, they ran in the party. That's a party with the full orange. The other one was a orange and a half orange.
Yes.
And the ODM had very many seats.
Yes.
And of course, Imanyara was in parliament, was in Raila's party now. And the girl who used to become was part of Raila's prime minister's office.
Yes.
So today, this is the thing which is happening.
It has played out on the same script
again.
So
our certain Wanyonyi now is trying to register Linda Mwananchi.
And of course that faction of Sifuna and Babu Owino and James Orengo. Well, there are a couple. There are many because initially in the letter that he had. Written to the registrar of political parties, he had said that he was actually registering the party on behalf of, and then he had listed all the members or the main members of the Linda Mwananchi group.
Yes.
Which now, I think through their lawyers have actually written to the registrar of political parties saying that it should not be allowed, should be disbanded, and. Because since they have no affiliation with the persons who want to register the party, they're saying that this would actually subject it. Once registered, it could subject them or the party to cornish behavior, where people would actually go and even solicit for funds. Okay, and Linda Mwananchi, of course, has come in as a strong faction. Okay. Of course, openly defying and defying the ODM Linda Ground faction, which is headed by the likes of Gladys Wanga and Oburu Odinga. So it's politics is just playing out the same way. It's a repeat.
It's a repeat.
It's a repeat.
It's a serious repeat.
Oh yes.
So if you know what's happening on the ODM as a party and also happening in Linda Mwananchi, it's what happened in 2005 when Orange Democratic Movement Kenya was snatched by Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila had to look for a party.
He had to look for a party.
And Mugambi Manyara, working in Paul Kifugi Mwite's office, a lawyer, is the one who rescued them.
Kenyan politics
is drama.
Is actually a case study. Should actually be studied as a
so
case study. It's very dramatic and quite dynamic as well.
You know, I always tell people.
Yes.
The first meeting for ODM is Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes.
Who paid for it? Uhuru, Ndolo went to see Uhuru at that house next to State House, his house.
Yes.
And he told Uhuru, now you know, we are broke, but we have to do a political rally.
Yes. Yes.
So Uhuru told Mama Margaret, hebu ingia hapo ndani wapatie milioni 2.
Waende wafanye nayo kazi.
Wafanye nayo kanti. Mama Margaret is the one who went and chucked 2 million and gave them cash.
Yeah, from their safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the first ever ODM meeting in Nairobi. So Uhuru was part and parcel.
Yeah.
When you see he says Azimio,
yes,
it's because he knows.
He knows everything. He knows the background.
Yes.
He knows how it started.
Yeah.
He even knows who actually
and
gave
he
them
financed
the first,
it.
Yes, and who financed it from the word go.
The other person who financed it is William Samoei Ruto, who gave another 500,000.
And that's why
meeting.
And that's why you'll even see that even William Ruto has the guts to actually say that he's one of the founder members.
It is true
of ODM,
because even the first meeting, Raila didn't attend.
Yeah. So whenever he says, and you know, when he said that during the time when he was saying that they are going to cut off Sifuna, he said that naona uko na mambo mingi sana na hujui kwamba we are the founders.
No, he is
of
actually
this ODM.
Because he gave another 500,000, so it became 2.5. The meeting was done in Kamukunji. Ruto appeared.
Yes.
Raila didn't show up because he was a cabinet minister. But the crowd wanted him.
Yes.
The next meeting, he appeared and he was fired by Kibaki.
Yes. And it goes out to show that, you know, in these political factions, ones that are being formed, all the time, anytime that any faction has to work and be influential, it must have a backbone.
You must have
someone who is going to come and just stand in there for you. Whether it's and especially mostly comes in financially. Yeah. Because without money,
hauna kitu.
Hauna pochi wewe.
Pochi imeenda. So away from political matters, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at what's happening to JCM Church. Now, my good friend Bishop King A is suffering.
He's suffering now.
He's really suffering because some guys are decamping after that Ruto visit.
Yes.
And another key member, Njoroge wa Makumbi, has left the bypass church. And of course, there was
the first guy who was
Brayo Wandarugo,
the American
Murage wa modern feature. So I don't know what's happening there.
No, there is more than we actually know. And looks like, and you know, I've actually seen a meme. And a comedic, a content creator has actually created a small clip where he's actually saying, or he's depicting that it looks like the church has actually been compromised because of the money. Okay? And then that explains that, you know, even these churches, the one who controls the money is a particular individual. So even if all of you are in leadership of the church, you have no control of the funds. There's always one person who is in control of all that money. Okay? So if we clearly see that the head of the church has been compromised to the extent of actually aligning himself to a certain political movement, then it is possible that the other people who are not of the same ideology may decide to leave and quit.
Oh, man.
Okay? Because definitely, when there's money involved and there's only one signatory, then it means there are people who have been taken for a joyride. and if you realize that you are ahead and you are taken for a joyride, then what's the point?
There's no point.
There's no point.
There's no point.
You ship out.
Ship out completely.
So JCM having its troubles right now, and of course you remember that weekend. I think it was the Kenya weekend, Kenya Open weekend, which is 2 weeks ago. President William Ruto gave them a clean sum of money, almost amounting to 7 million. Okay, and promised to help them build the church. Promised them to acquire the compound where they were holding the service at, and so many things. And all this is coming at a backdrop of when we had already said that dishing out of monies by politicians should be banned in churches.
Yeah. So my good friend King A, you have a bit of housekeeping to do in your service church.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
No, he will not do anything. It's his church. If they want to ship out, he says well and good. He says that gari ilikuwa imejaa, wacha ijae pesa sasa. Kwa hiyo kiti walikuwa wamekalia, wekelea bunda la pesa. Kweli?
King A.
You will be unstoppable. I told you our theme today is hapendwe mtu
anapendwa pesa.
Pochi tu.
So King A master comedian, a master MC in Kikuyu traditions.
Yes.
But also a great church leader now. All of a sudden.
Great, yeah?
Yeah.
Akomboka.
Ako njombu.
Anajituma.
Ako njombu. So ladies and gentlemen, let's take a short break. We go for business news, and after that we go into news, and later on play for you wonderful, beautiful music from DJ Charm. Today is that iconic Thursday. Of course, it's a Spice Drive, and we always tell you how it is. Now, Solo, you said Waitito.
Yes.
What has happened to Baba Yao?
Baba Yao has finally seen the light. He has seen the light of day.
Yes.
And the news that are coming out right now are saying that finally former governor Ferdinand Waititu has bless me has been released from prison after the High Court reviewed his bail terms. Remember, this one comes in after his 588 million graft case, where his previous bond bail was close to over 55 million shillings.
In short, you're saying that the rich always get away.
They get away with it, but now
the rich always get away.
They get away with it, but not expensively, because you can imagine if he had been jailed because of a graft case of 588 million, and then he had been given a bail of let's say something 55 million, which he said is too high, and had it reviewed up to 20 million shillings. It has taken him that long to actually be behind bars before he could actually raise the money.
Actually, he should just be behind bars. Yeah, because when you steal the public funds, you are not allowed to come out. Because first of all, how many people died in hospitals in Kiambu?
Yes.
Because of that money Waititu took and his family.
Which is still happening even now.
Yeah. So we cannot excuse bad governance, corruption, stealing of the public funds and say that someone is getting some leniency.
Yes.
Yeah, if you steal, be ready to pay for it.
But you see, when these people who steal small things, they never get reprieve. Not at all.
That's what I'm saying.
It's only the rich.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My statement was They've come for their friend.
Yes.
They've given him a get over free ticket.
Exactly.
Free card.
And now he's going to be out there.
Have you seen that Monopoly game? Get out of jail.
Yes.
The card.
Yes.
That's what Waitito has gotten. 20 million is a drop.
It's a drop
of 583 million.
That's true.
That he has stolen.
It's nothing basically.
It's get out of jail free.
Yes.
Ticket.
Yeah.
So he will be out here convincing people
that he was innocent.
But he stole. We know the 2 buildings he bought from that money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that one he had been arrested with 2 others, with 3 others, including his wife.
Only a mean person steals with his wife and daughter.
Only a mean person steals with his family. And that is because they are so insecure that they will not trust anyone else to handle the cash. What they say is, if I give you the leeway and I show you the loophole of where I steal from,
you will tell people.
You will tell people, or you will run away with the money. So what you decide, you just do it with your wife or your family. Say your kids, your children, because you know these ones will never disown you.
Now, talking about family, this is a condition which is happening to very many African old men who have raised their children and their wives and stayed loyal for a very long time. Sometimes it makes me question whether loyalty pays or not. Now, there's a story of a man who graduated top of his class. He secured a PhD before his peers finished their masters. He was a man of discipline.
Yes.
He did not smoke, no drink, no scandals. He chose one woman, married his best friend, stayed faithful. He raised children, 4 children, sent them to all abroad on merit, gave them everything and anything they had. They now live good lives in foreign lands and married, thriving far away. He is now over 70, professor, a man respected in academic circles, but forgotten in the quiet corners of his own home. Today he stands in his kitchen, cooking alone. His wife, the woman he built everything with, left for a routine visit to help their daughter with childbirth. That was 3 years ago.
She's never come back.
She never came back, claiming she wants to get her residency and green card. She now belongs to the children. She FaceTimes him on birthdays and sends him love and in group chats, but never had time to live here. But he has become a bachelor again by abandonment and not by choice. This is the lonely end of a good man. A man who did everything right, never cheated, never strayed, who lived by the book, who believed to love and that duty was enough. And yet, here he is, alone, heartbroken, still in love with a woman who had forgotten to come home to him. Now, the hard questions must be asked. If he was a polygamist, would the wives have stayed away? If he mingled with friends, built a strong social network, joined the staff club, would he made a silence less deafening? If he had a side chick, someone who also cared and who would feel less invisible, would he be invisible now? If he lived a little less from others, would he be okay? To men reading this, how do you escape ending up like this so low? And let's do this. Let's go to business news, then you respond.
All right.
Of this good old man.
A shocking tale.
Of a good old man.
Good old man.
Yes.
Who's left alone, lonely.
Yes, now struggling.
In his own kitchen.
Yes.
Preparing his own meals.
Yes.
While FaceTiming his wife, who's living a lavish life.
In America.
In America. You see, these are the consequences of having a shrunken social life. Okay? You could be a good old man all your life. You've raised your kids very, very well.
Taken them to beautiful schools.
Had your wife, never cheated on her. But now in old age, all of them desert. They desert you. But listen, when you are having all this lavish life, you never had and maintained your social circle. That's number one. Remember, your kids are not always going to be subject to be the ones who will be taking care of you in your old age, in your old misery. Your wife too will go out there and she'll taste life. And a lot of kids, even in Kenya, actually will want to support the mother more than they'll want to support the father. He could have been a professor, very well educated, earning a good job, giving them the best education. But socially, he was very strict and very tough on his own kids and his own wife. So what happens is, when all that lavish happens and everybody now is on their own, they are independent, they move on with their own lives, and then they leave you struggling like an old judge. No friends, no circle, no social connections. Those are the consequences. Sometimes it's good to just step out there and have a laugh with your friends, not only going home to eat with your wife.
It is important. And the question is, if this man had a side chick, would he be lonely?
No. He would have companion.
So if he was a polygamist,
he'd have another option.
Would the wife continue staying in America?
He would have an option.
The
would
wife
say,
would have-
wacha aende.
No, but even the wife would say, wacha nirudi.
Hapana, kwa huo mzee boring.
No, let me tell you, women always compete with other women.
Yes.
The moment there's another woman in that home, she will not go to America and stay for 3 years. She will not.
But sometimes this man, there's a possibility that he even lost his work identity after he retired. He lost a lot of things, and the wife even realized this guy is never even sociable. He's not interesting. I was married here because of money, and my kids are happy. But the gentleman, what are we doing together?
The question from men out there is, remember, we are saying that you must plan yourself correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Because women, after a certain age, they tend to lean towards their children who become successful.
Yeah.
And abandon the tractor who built the road.
Yeah, the old tractor.
Who built the road. So many men I've seen in Kenya, in many parts of Africa, suffering the same fate of this old man. Because their women have abandoned them to go and live there with their children in the United States. And these men are told to start from afresh, to cook and all that. The question is, that's why Africans made sure that when King David was growing old, they brought a virgin to be sleeping next to him to keep him warm.
Yeah.
That's why Africans always advised you to marry a younger wife.
Time. Who can even keep you company.
Keep you company.
Yeah.
Who can make sure that umekunywa dawa.
Exactly.
You've eaten well. You are clothed properly.
Now may watch news.
Yeah. But if you stick to your old woman of your youth and she decides to leave,
well, she'll go and find more exciting people than you.
Who unto you?
Oh, unto you with
Who
your lonely self. It's a phenomenon of the good old loyal man.
Yeah, the good old loyal man does not end up well.
Anaishanga peke yake.
The only guy who ends up well is that cheater.
Yeah. Mkora
ya town. And that's why you've heard for a very long time.
Yeah.
Good men finish last.
Exactly. The good men
finish last.
Finish uko mwisho. He'll just be there playing with his 2 old dogs. Kwanza hizi za nini? Hizi za kwenda harusi zinaitwa aje? Bosco. That's the only social animal
you'll be hanging out with. Yeah. Unaenda ikisha kule na kuambia, unaipigia kelele, unaongea nayo.
Inakuangalia tu, inaenda na dozi, nasema huyu mzee anakuanga na zaki.
Yes.
Hata familia ilimtoroka.
It's
a phenomenon.
It's phenomenal
of the good loyal man.
If you are loyal,
shida
yako hapo. Now, away from the good old loyal man, Lewis Hamilton has actually opened a can of worms.
Yes.
And this is what Lewis Hamilton you remember I wear a Ferrari?
Yes.
Remember, I am a Ferrari fan.
I know that for a long time.
For a very long time. But you see, the good man came from the Silver Arrows and joined our team.
Yes.
The Reds.
Yes.
And as red as Manchester, as red as Ferrari. That's what I support. So now, this gentleman called Lewis Hamilton is saying, I've been to 10 African countries. I loved Kenya.
Yes.
Obviously, I don't think we are going to have a Grand Prix in Kenya. But Rwanda was spectacular. Those are the two places I felt like I could live. South Africa is turning. Those would be good places for Grand Prix to go to. So, Lewis Hamilton, among many people, loves Kenya.
Oh, yeah. And that's very true, because you understand, you're a loyal supporter
fan
of the Formula One as well.
Yeah.
And you know,
I've raced in that track in South Africa.
Oh, you have? Yeah, you did, yeah?
Yeah, I raced in South Africa.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I've raced there.
There's this billionaire who used to, who has property in Kenya. It's called Briatore.
Silvio Briatore.
You know Briatore?
Yeah.
He's the one who has actually been behind bringing a lot of those celebrities from Formula One coming to Kenya and at his billionaire resort in Malindi. And every time they come here, you know, a lot of them come flying in private jets. That's why nobody even recognizes that Lewis Hamilton has been in Kenya until he spoke about it and said that he actually loves Kenya and he wouldn't mind even coming to live here. Because how Briatore has actually done Malindi and the billionaire resort, it is exquisite.
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. Like those Ferrari drivers come over here and they chill there, and you know, they have all these models, they have all this fun, because that is their lifestyle. Okay, they live on the fast lane, just like they drive on it. Okay, so for him to actually say that and compare, and you know, when they come to Kenya, they look at the weather, they look at the lifestyle, they look at the property we have, they look at, you know, the beaches out there. What do you think he goes into his mind when he's thinking every time he's in Italy, he can't even step out to go to the mall? But whenever he's in this country, he can actually go and sunbask by the beach and nobody will take notice.
Let me tell you, Kenya is such a wonderful country.
Beautiful weather.
It's only the biggest mistake we have is our politics is as a scumbag.
A big one.
And our politicians are the lowest of the ebb. But otherwise, the Almighty God blessed us with a wonderful weather.
Oh, yeah.
This weather is what you would kill for.
Yes,
especially
anywhere.
in Nairobi, this is what you would kill for.
Exactly.
If you go to other countries, when you realize,
you can't, you know, the day I landed in Cape Town during winter, and you know how it is in Cape Town and winter. And you know, Cape Town is one of those towns in Africa where you can actually experience 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah. It's crazy. It rains in the afternoon.
Exactly.
Sunny in the morning.
Yes.
It's windy in the afternoon. Oh my goodness. Cape Town.
And it's snowing at night.
Mother city.
Yes.
It's crazy.
But in Kenya, you can enjoy. Okay, we still have bipolar weather, but when they come here, they don't feel it as we have bipolar weather because it's going to rain in the morning, but be sunny in a few hours. But it doesn't affect us so much.
Yeah, you will sunbask.
You sunbask and you're okay.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about why you should never leave Kenya for any other country. And also, we want to tell you that when it croaks, it must be a frog.
Oh, yeah.
When it croaks,
yes,
it must be a frog.
Sachura.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know, the Iranian, American, and Israeli war is still ongoing, and there have been very many casualties. Of course, the first day, I'll tell Ali Khamenei passed on with 41 people, and the wife also passed on later. So now, a story is coming out from me, David Key is saying, I hesitated to reveal this, but since he's back home, I can share that the Mossad agent who planted the listening device in Khamenei's ring is named Shama Hakol. Shama is a dear friend and undertook a tremendous risk for this mission. We will be a movie of this one day for sure. You know, Ali Khamenei had a very big ring. The Israelis actually planted a listening device on it. These Israelis, Mossad agents, they go for any length to do anything. Now this girl called Shama Hakol, or a man, I don't know. Can you imagine planting a listening device on someone's remarriage ring?
But you know, in the intelligence experts actually do that all over the world, and they do that to people that they want to know. They have to study your behavior and your patterns of every day, of everything you're doing. There's a name for it in intelligent terms, but even without planting the listening device, well, they have said that they can go as far as hacking systems like your mobile phone, street cameras, like observing traffic and how well, your pattern of movement. How many people do you move with? How does your security behave when they are around you? Who do they guard? You understand? So it's possible that they could have they had a mule inside there, but that behavioral surveillance is highly used by intelligence services when they want to know they want to observe the habits and the movements of a person.
It's interesting that the Israelis actually did that, and that's why it was very easy to locate the gentleman.
Oh yeah,
when he was doing the meeting.
Yes,
and we are not supporting the any side of the war, but it is what it is. I think I was wondering how would they get him so easily.
No, it is. They actually do that, and they had said that they already had. You see, just the other day, they hacked into the Iranian television station, and they even broadcasted the President Trump's message. These intelligent guys are, they are on another level.
Yeah,
they're on another level. So when now they want to actually study the patterns of a leader or a person of interest, they will hack everything, including the traffic lights, and observe all the patterns of movement.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So just know that it is what it is.
Yeah, you don't know when you're being watched.
In geopolitics,
yes,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
The big brother,
yes,
is
watching all the time. All the time.
So, and today, away from the big brother, today at 5 p.m., just this time is 5:27, Jubilee presidential candidate, the candidate, Matiangi, is in London.
Yes.
He's addressing Chatham House. And remember, Chatham House is one of the world's most respected policy institutes, founded in 1920 after the World War I. It brings together global leaders, scholars, and policymakers to discuss international affairs, diplomacy, and global challenges. Over the years, many presidents, prime ministers, and influential thinkers from around the globe have spoken there, making it an important platform for serious global conversations. Kenya has also had an history with the institution. One of the earliest and most notable speakers there was Tom Mboya in the early 1960s. And just before Kenya got independence. In more recent years, Kenyan leaders Uhuru Kenyatta, the president, and former president, and Honorable Raila Odinga, the former prime minister, and William Ruto have spoken. Today, Dr. Matiangi joins a list of illustrious Kenyans, taking Kenyan conversation to global stage. What do you think he should be talking about?
Now, I don't know that he's going to put, it's a global stage, and he's been the internal security minister in the country in the last regime, and now as a leader of Jubilee, and of course he's going to talk about governance and how they actually are planning to take over, because that is the purpose when you're the head of a political party, and you're in the opposition, because you're not sitting with the president. And you see all these other leaders who have been there previously went to address this meeting as opposition leaders, okay, and presidential candidates. So I know he's going to highly talk about governance, but now you're coming from a regime which already had issues, but was inherited by someone who was also part of that regime. So I don't know what ideology he's going to use that is different from what has already been presented before, or what the world knows.
Fred Okengo Matiangi used to be a literature lecturer at UN.
Yes.
And he must have read many books.
Yes.
And I want to remind him that he must have read Joe Ruganda. He must have read, of course, Francis Mbuga, Betrayal in the City.
Yes.
He must have read those books.
Definitely.
He must have examined students.
Yes.
Or if it's very difficult, we take
literature
him.
students on the same.
Yes,
because
or-
they are matters of governance.
Or he must have taught them.
Yeah.
Ken Saro-Wiwa's Transistor Radio
Yes.
of West Africa.
Yes.
They're interesting books.
Exactly.
I know he has taught.
Yes.
And he has examined students at the University of Nairobi. My question is
Yes.
to Fred Orengo Matiangi, as a literature teacher, as a literature person who reads, breathes, lives literature, what happened to Yala?
To Yala.
People who disappeared in Yala.
Yeah, is he
What
going to talk
happened
about
in
the
Yala?
deaths and the disappearance and the killings of the Yala River?
He should tell us.
No, he was a part of that regime.
Yeah,
and of
he
course
should
he's
tell
going.
us.
This one is what is called what
You
we
see,
call.
you cannot aspire for a higher office.
Yes, and he already committed.
There's a
There-
lot of
Yeah.
skeletons in
Let
the
me
closet.
tell you one thing. He's going to treat this one as a hot potato.
No.
The way he's going to avoid those questions when addressing about, I'm telling you the truth, when it comes to the issue of Yala River and the killings, because he's very privy to the information.
He should tell us.
He was the internal security minister.
He should tell us.
So he's very aware about any abductions, about the people, about the disappearances. Who are these people? Some bodies were found there decomposing. Okay, not recognizable. So there's a lot he knows, but I'm telling you, this issue is going to be treated like a hot potato.
So we are telling him,
Yes.
Fred Orengo Matiangi, apart from the geopolitics you want to discuss,
Yeah.
and the positioning of Kenya in the world of geopolitics,
Can we talk about
Can we
the
talk-
atrocities?
Yes, that happened when you are the minister.
When you're the Minister of Interior.
Back home.
Yes.
It was under jurisdiction, under your mandate,
Oh, yeah.
and you didn't tell us that you cannot perform your duties. So
And he
we-
performed it to the end.
And so we think that you exemplary did other duties right,
Yes.
apart from when people were found floating in a river.
Whether it was under instruction
Or not,
you are overseeing.
let us see. And now, away from Matiangi, addressing Chatham House, it just reminds me that, remember that this global war again, British Defense Ministry has confirmed that the drone that was launched towards UK base in Cyprus was not launched from Iran.
So what are they trying to say?
Guess who did this?
Who
to
did
drag
this?
UK into the conflict.
We know who it is because he just said the other day he's not so happy about Spain. He's not so happy about UK.
So, do you know who dragged
Your
the
guess
British
is as good as mine.
into this conflict? And they are now singing in the Britons are saying,
Yes.
stammer out. Do you know who has engineered it?
Yes.
That they're saying the PM should be out.
Yes.
That is not responding to the attack.
Yes.
And the attack did not come from the Iranians.
Yes. So
Do you know
clearly-
who was saying that the that NATO should expand its military budget
Yes.
by 10%
Oh, yeah.
a few days ago?
Yes.
That do you know who buys most of assets from US military? It's NATO.
It's NATO.
Do you know who wants to make money and make America great again?
You know.
You know. Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, yeah.
I tell you, this world is full of double standards.
It's full of double standards and double speak.
And double speak too. So you know what we are talking about. You're talking about the Iranian war. We've talked about Matiangi, and we told him he's read enough books. And if you've not read those books, please purchase them. Read them.
Yes.
And of course, there's another guy I like in Uganda. The person who wrote a poem
Yes.
in the Oliver Barrow short stories. And he says that the lunch, it's called The Lunch. That is one of the iconic. We'll come back with it.
We'll come back with
in
that
a
one.
few minutes ago.
The-
a few minutes,
the
we'll come
lunch.
back. The lunch.
All right.
But away from that, locally, this yesterday and the day before, we said that I was under the weather. And of course, the Ministry of Health has warned of a rise of influenza cases across several parts of the country, raising concerns as the country enters its peak flu season. And of course, Director General Patrick Amoth
Yes.
noted that the surge is consistent with Kenya's noon season patterns, which is typically from late February to May and again from July to October. This is during the rainy seasons, of course. And the Kenya National Public Health Institute, working with the county government, is monitoring the outbreak through National Influenza Surveillance System, which shows higher than average respiratory illness activity. Most cases remain mild to moderate, with patients recovering through supportive care. However, children under 5, older persons, pregnant women, and individuals with underlying conditions such as diabetes, cancer, or depressed immunity face the greatest risk of serious illness.
So we're actually saying that we are going back to that era where we need to mask up, where we need to, sanitize, where we need to even isolate. Because if you have any of these conditions, then you're highly vulnerable. You're highly vulnerable. And, there have been so many cases. If you walk around the streets of Nairobi, you meet so many people who have blocked nose, running noses, coughs. It's everywhere. So by the time that Kenya reports of the increased influenza cases, then the health ministry is right. And of course, I think it's going to be very, very important for people to mask up, sanitize, and if necessary, isolate if you know that your health is very vulnerable and you are at risk.
All right. So make sure that, remember that between February and May this year, there is a lot of that upsurge of influenza cases, and of course in July and October. So it is not an isolation that I couldn't do a link properly yesterday.
It was the influenza effect.
It was the influenza effect, but we are back like we never left. We are back like... and we tell you, it is what it is. And it's 7 minutes past 5 o'clock. So let's go to what we call the weather. Not the weather. Let's go to traffic. And the people who are easy. I promised to tell you about the poem.
Yes.
Now, I've remembered there are actually 2 iconic poems from Uganda. And if you are Muganda, you must have known these poems or you must have been taught. And the first one I said of Henry Barlow is Building the Nation.
Building the Nation.
And Henry Barlow writes, today I did my share in building the nation. I drove a permanent secretary to an important function, urgent function. In fact, to a luncheon at the Vic. The menu reflected its importance. Cold bell beer and small talk, then fried chicken with niceties, wine to fill the wholeness of the laughs, ice cream to cover the stereotype jokes, coffee to keep the PS awake on the return journey. I drove the permanent secretary back. He yawned many times in the back of the car. Then to keep awake, he suddenly asked, "Did you have lunch, my friend?" I replied, looking straight ahead and secretly smiling at his belated concern that I had not, but I was slimming. Upon which he said with seriousness that I'm amused, that more than annoyed, and upon which he said that amused more than annoying to me, that Mwananchi, I too had none. I attended matters of state, highly delicate diplomatic duties, and my friend, I didn't eat anything because my stomach has ulcers and the wind. As he continued yawning and the pains we suffer in the building of the nation. So this guy tells the driver,
yes,
even me, I didn't eat lunch.
Yes.
And he had a 4-course meal.
He had a 4-course meal and a beer, a local beer.
Yes.
The most popular Bell beer in Uganda.
Yes.
You see, sometimes what hurts the country the most is politicians losing touch with the ordinary Kenyan. Like they lose so much touch that you'd think that they lived in a bubble.
I tell you.
Okay? So some of these utterances that politicians make do not go well with the ordinary Mwananchi. And you see now that we are heading towards the elections, you'll see more and more politicians gravitating towards the ordinary citizen because they are trying to seek and attract votes.
But once they get the money or once they get into power,
they will be eating 4-course meal.
They are eating 4-course meals.
At the Vic.
And people are, right now in Kenya,
Yeah.
people are starving to death. Animals are dying because of hunger.
I'm telling you.
Do you understand? It's like these people have been living in a bubble and they don't even understand. They have lost touch with the common Mwananchi.
Completely.
Absolutely embarrassing.
So if you've never read that poem, Henry Barlow, Building of the Nation.
Building of the Nation.
And you'll know what your MP, your minister, the leader in government is doing.
Yeah.
They are driving
a 4-course meal
while you are starving.
And you're starving.
With ice cream and niceties.
And doesn't care. And he lies to you, me too. Losing touch.
Losing touch. So there's also another guy from Uganda who also wrote a very nice poem there. And it's about how people introduce themselves and how we joke around if you don't know what your name carries.
Yes.
And you know, it reminded me of when you meet the people when you tell a socialite that I'm so low.
Yeah.
And a few minutes later is when they realize so
low. Then now they'll be attracted because of the name.
Of the name. So now Richard Ntiru wrote a very iconic poem, and he says that perhaps it was the Ugil shirt, the missing button, the unassertive collar. Perhaps it was the naughty hair that boasted little acquaintance with the comb, or maybe it was just his usualness. And one more impersonal handshake along the constant street that included the functional smile and operated a mechanical handshake. His name didn't help either. Mugambo Mugenge. You've heard the name in the outpatient's attendance queue, not in the old or current telephone directory. You certainly needed prompting. I said he was an old-time friend, but you continued to wave to the passing cars. I added that he was a high-placed man, and you promptly took you. A university teacher, an author of several works. Really? You, And you became word and emotion perfect. Like a dog that mistakes thief for a visitor.
Yeah.
And remembers to bark at the master's coughing. You renewed and pumped the handshake, reshaped your mouth to a proper smile, recalled his famous public talk that you missed, and observed thoughtfully how unlike his photographs he looked. You were tuned, delved deep into his latest novel, and wondered why his main characters do not walk the solid earth and fail to effectively live in communication. You have remembered, and you are now liking him. There, in good company. And it's about to add, when you acknowledge and interpret, society is a market for all, and men are goods on display. When the label is more important than the labeled, and the price more fascinating than the value.
Wow. Wow.
The introduction.
The introduction is powerful. What is in a name? What is carried in a name?
Mugambo Mugenge.
Mugambo Mugenge. Beautiful poetry.
The man who wore a Ugil shirt.
Yes.
A missing button.
Missing button. Wow. Absolutely well written.
So now,
yes,
Richard Ntiru, when he wrote that poem,
yes,
it reminded me when I'm of current generation.
Yeah.
If they do not know what you do,
yeah, they will
especially
not associate.
the socialites,
yeah, they will not associate until they find out
what you do.
The weight of your name. They say, yes, CEO is Charles. That one.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, everything brightens. Exactly. And says, now you see even the aura in the room changes.
And that's why the guy is saying, Richard Ntiru said, that in this world, the label is more important than the labeled. And the price more fascinating
than the tag.
Than the value. The price is more fascinating than the value. Mugambo Mugenge. The man who wore a huge shirt. And he ends, by the way, by saying that we parted hoping to meet again. You went away rehearsing his name, but probably and remembering his face.
Powerful.
Yeah?
Powerful. It just reminds me of that story you told me when you met Aliko Dangote.
Yes.
Quiet man,
In a corner.
easy,
Easy.
in a corner.
Yeah, you wouldn't tell.
Not flamboyant,
Nothing.
not noisy.
Yes.
Just quietly sitting down. Just like that missing button.
In Ugil shirt. Ugil
In
shirt.
Ugil shirt. Wow.
Mugambo.
Mugenge.
So Rich and Tiru, iconic poets there from Uganda. So those two poems
Yes.
are very iconic from Ugandans. Remember in the 1960s, anyone who went to Makerere University, Makerere was the citadel of education.
Yes.
Was the epicenter of thought and free thought. And many people, if you've gone through, many people used to have the discourse. The English discourse was there. Of course, Jody Graff taught there, and many other iconic leaders.
Yes.
And brains taught in the Makerere University in the 60s. And the biggest debate in Makerere Hill was the English.
Yes,
And the
literature.
place, and the place of English. And that's why Ngugi later decided to write in mother tongue. And Jody Graff said that language is the mimesis of culture. He actually quoted Aristotle. Language is a mimesis of culture. And he said that languages like trees grow and die. That's why we don't speak Latin today.
Great.
Yeah.
Language is like the way trees grow
Yes, and die.
and die.
Yeah. That's why we don't speak Latin today. But one time the whole world
Was speaking
spoke
that.
Latin.
Yes.
Most of it spoke Latin.
Yeah, even a lot of words are derived from there.
Yes. But languages grow
and die like trees in the forest.
Joe D. Graff.
Wow. Powerful. Very powerful.
So,
Yeah.
Solo is 23 minutes. And there are other things I was saying we needed to discuss. And one of them is actually on this issue of not the Requiem Mass of but we'll touch on the Requiem Mass. But also, Wilson Sossion is saying he wants to contest again SG
Of
TSC.
of TSC.
Yes.
And he actually went to court, and court made a ruling saying that wow, this power thing and acquisition of seats,
I'm telling you.
people don't want to leave.
Completely. They don't.
So you go and test this, because I know even right now, if a devolution, if that constitution was not written as the way it was, and you've seen the governors who've contested twice and have actually downgraded and decided to run for senator because you cannot do it more than twice.
Yes.
It just shows, I mean, even if you have that desire to lead, just lead by example and by deeds. You don't have to remain in power forever.
I'm telling
And
you.
I don't know when Africans are going to learn this thing. Because from presidents to even our devolution here in Kenya, I don't know what we are going to do. I really, really feel bad for our African people. Because for the future, I mean, I think we are possessing too much greed to stick to power.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
So now he wants to go for the Secretary General again.
Yeah, he
at
might
the
get
Teachers
he might-
Service Commission.
He might get it.
Yes,
of
because
course.
he knows he has the influence.
And he might get it because even OU is as colorless as yesterday.
Yes.
The current SG.
Wow.
So now,
Yes.
away from TSE and issues, and of course, teachers' issues and association, there's a woman in Western Kenya, and we always warn men. If you know you cannot provide for the family, stay faithful.
True.
Do not marry a second wife. If you know the woman is the head of the house, because Tolo is saying today we are talking about deep pockets.
Yes.
So now, this woman, there's a woman who has been arrested. This woman helped her husband building a matrimonial house. They married when the man had nothing. After easy 8 years, he decided to chase her away and bring another woman. The woman reacted. she decided, because she was no longer wanted, the new woman will not occupy the house. And she decided to demolish it. The new woman, according to this lady, should now also build her own house. And the woman removed all the iron sheet from the roof, broke all the windows, brought down most of the walls, and said, "It's my money. It's my money."
That's I think that's almost well deserved. It's against the law, but it's well deserved. That was quite unfair for him. Even if you bring another woman,
so mjenge
kwake basi.
Yes.
Hii ingine ya boma ya kwanza,
don't
disrespect someone who was kind. It's that hand that feedeth you. That's very unfair.
I
feel for her. Because I mean, it's gratitude, and you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
You don't. Even English says, "Don't bite for the hand that feeds you."
Yeah.
So this man, is callous. First of all, you don't have money.
Yeah.
You've been housed for 8 years.
Yeah.
Then you decide, I want to bring this woman. Listen, men, your value.
Yes.
And we go back to introduction by Richard Ntiru. This time, the value is not the price tag.
It's not the price tag.
Yeah. The price tag is this woman who has helped you build.
Exactly.
And is also the value.
Yes.
Wewe, hiyo nyumba is not yours.
Unakuja na makosokoso zako.
Makosokoso hapa. You'll be fired.
Absolutely.
So, women who build for their men, congratulations.
And they deserve all that.
You deserve all the love, the care.
All the love and the care and affection.
But if that character, who is as colorless as he should be, decides to bring another woman, leave.
Na ubomoe kidogo.
So today, there's also, we like talking about myths, and it's a myth moment. The Kipsigis with myths. And now, today, there's a very big fig tree. Simwotet, that has fallen in Kericho. In Kipsigis, when a tree like Simwotet or fig tree falls after death of a key leader, someone here says it means that another key figure will follow suit. The tree normally grows in what they call twins or in pair, and one has fallen, another may follow. 2027 premonition. We don't know. We wait. So now these are Kale, and that tree which fell on some very vehicles in Eldred, in Kericho today, and it's a very big tree. I think it fell from this around Kericho town there. So people from Kericho, you can tell us, what is it true?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Are these myths, do they really happen?
Yeah,
do they actually happen?
What falls, do big people fall?
And are we foreseeing what is to come?
Yeah.
Or are we actually revisiting what has just happened? Because I think looking at the reception of Ngeno, Johanna Ngeno in his hometown, in his home area, massive crowds, and I can tell you the eruption that has happened even when political figures were speaking. I understand right now that some leaders, some members of parliament were stopped from addressing the crowd. There were those controversial people, some politicians who are well-known, people like Alfred Keter. They spoke and they really stirred up the crowds. And actually people are looking at what is going to happen tomorrow during his final send-off.
You see what happens? The irony of life, ladies and gentlemen, is most of the people are always buried by their enemies.
That is the sad fate of life. Truth.
The enemies who didn't want you,
they are the first ones.
Who fought you?
They'll be the first ones.
The first one online.
Yeah.
And
to speak of your goodwill and shower you with praises.
And they never wanted to be with you.
And they are so happy inside, saying,
wacha
aende kabisa.
Yeah. Anakuwa anatusumbua sana.
This is very sad.
So the worst thing is that most politicians are buried by their enemies, not their friends.
Yes.
The Emuru Adikiri people who he stood, the musicians, the what, they have not spoken.
They have not spoken, but
Yet,
you can see
yeah.
the kind of agony they are going through.
Yeah, because this guy helped them build houses. Built them together.
I mean, if you hear the way they are showering him with praises and the way they mourned,
he touched
when they were
them.
receiving
He
the
touched
body.
them. But now the people who are not with him,
Yes, the irony
of life,
that they are the ones who are there in the front row seats singing of your praises.
that a man who was loved by the crowds gets buried by his enemies. Life happens.
Let us see what's going to happen and unfold tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I hear that if the crowd or the audience doesn't like you, then you might have just to simp.
You simp, of course. You bust simp. Did you miss your first girlfriend?
Nah.
It was what it was.
It was what it was.
It ended.
And now we're here.
We are moving on.
Now we moved on. We're here.
Swiftly.
Yeah.
Without looking back.
And by the way, talking about first girlfriend, hata mtu akimwangalia saa hizi
Hata unashangaa nini?
nashanganga hii ni mashida gani nilikuwa nimejiwekea. But also, your first love, your team yesterday got punished, but basically, what a beautiful night of football. Of course, Arsenal with a very, very crucial win. And of course, still 7 points clear. Man City slipped. And Manchester United lost. And maybe that is going to be a prediction of what's going to come in the next few days. Only like 9-8 matches remaining.
Yeah, the team, the league is in the business end, and of course things are happening, and as I can tell you, serious business.
Of course, Arsenal did not have the best display of football, but what counts most is the numbers, the points, and we scooped the 3 crucial points, still putting us 7 points clear now, ahead of Manchester City. That draw for Man City really changed the dynamics of the chase, of the title chase, because it had been projected that if they had won all the remaining matches, and then they stood a very, very high chance. But don't forget that Man City, of course, will be meeting Arsenal in days to come. So that's going to be very interesting to see.
And in the local league, Gor Mahia were held to 1-1 draw today with Postal Rangers. So Gor Mahia has played 23 matches. They are leading the table with 50 points. They hope to extend their lead to 9 points. It didn't happen. And now they lead the table with 7 points. But the AFC has played 22 games. They have a game in hand. So that one gives AFC a chance to pounce. Okay. And of course, Gor Mahia has been on a winning streak of 7 matches without a loss. That's consistently. So today, Gor Mahia won. Postal Rangers won. It was played this afternoon, and that's how the game ended. So we can get your predictions there. And ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the day we say adios. And of course, Solo, what's your last words?
My last words, I think, for today, let's keep pushing on. Sir Jack from Karen is telling me it's raining terribly, cats and dogs in Karen. So what we're Karen poleni sana. But for everybody else, as we head home, remember that if you need to change something in your life, life has no remote control. You have to get up and change it yourself.
Get to work. Just work hard. Do the things you have to do from bottom up.
Oh, yeah.
Keep listening. It's adios until tomorrow. It's the Spice Drive. Me host you, Charles Otieno.
And the real Solo.
And of course, DJ Cham on the 1 and 2s.